Okay. I'm going to change the music, but it is an upgrade. It's an upgrade from last week where I had no music on the intro video, but I was trying to use AI music so it wouldn't be copyrighted.
You know what? I've got the rights
of copyright music when it streams.
I've got the rights to an excellent piece. We're going to go with that one. I will send it to you. And yeah, okay. That was a lovely surprise, though. It is better than no music. I agree. That was an upgrade. Yes.
It was an upgrade. All right. Say it. Just say it, Hedreich.
Well, tell me all about Google.
No, that's not what we were going to talk about. You say it.
That's what I was going to talk about. That is all I was going to talk about. Okay. I mean, there might be some viral media out about kindergartners learning with A1, steak sauce.
It's high.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying, that's, if you are aware of that, you're welcome to.
It is no surprise that when you, first of all, say you're going to get rid of the Department of Education and fill the position with somebody who is a professional wrestler founder, that they think AI is A1 sauce. So you get what you pay for.
It's the secret sauce to education these days. Let's just go with that. We're gonna be. We can be kind. We can't rewind, but we can be kind. So I want to hear all about
Hedreich. We want to hire the best people.
Maybe she's a DEI hire.
Okay, so last week we said we're not doing controversy. We don't want to do that, which I just kind of laughed at because neither of us are obviously very good at it. And then you went and dropped some bomb last week, and then look at you. You just can't help yourself.
Alice's word is okay. Are you ready to be sassy? We're sassy.
It's sassy.
We're sassy. We are.
You are.
That was actually one of our possible titles. It had something to do with sassy EDU. Wasn't that one of the ones we kicked around?
Yeah, something. One of these weeks we can talk about DEI. Today is not our day. We actually have several things on our list. I'm going to go ahead and put this up here. If you are watching, please comment, say hello, say where you're from. We'll add you to the screen and give you a hello. If you have a question for us, we would love to hear from you. Take our show in left field. Okay, so we've got our slides here. We are unmuted, Hedreich and Alice, and we are definitely unmuted.
Even when we try not to be, it's just
own it, girl. Just own it. Who's tuning into this because we're boring? Okay, so hashtag HAUNMUTED. Notice the capitalization. We would love it if you would post on socials and use the hashtag. So last week we talked about, are you nice to your AI? We just barely got to it at the very end, and almost immediately you noticed I say please. I'm typing in please. Now I have a preview to Google VO. That is Google's new video generation tool. And oh my gosh, it's amazing. I am like out of control making videos with Google VO. So I was at the Google Cloud Next conference this last week, and I was sitting in the keynote, and I was sitting next to this woman from London, and she did not have preview access to VO. So I'm like, oh, here, just try mine. I passed my phone over and let her type in the prompt that she wanted to put in. And she started off with, please make a video. Like, that doesn't need to be part of your video making prompt, but I thought it was really interesting.
It does, okay? Because when AI takes over and the robots, when all of our sci-fi, I don't know, I'm a sci-fi nerd from way back. When, in my sci-fi dreams, in my sci-fi future, AI is going to take over the world, and they will know that I was one of the good ones. Because I said, please, and thank you, and asked its name. Okay, the asking its name might be
All right, so I thought I'd give a little recap about Google Cloud Next. If you know me, you know that I'm very googly, although I have nothing against Microsoft. Microsoft has some great products, and I love them as well. But I am a Google developer expert for Google Workspace. I'm also a Google developer expert for AppSheet. Oh, we got someone saying hello, dropping in. Hi, Haranjal. Thanks for making it from Colombia.
Oh,
Somebody from
awesome.
Colombia while I was at Google Cloud Next.
Invite me. I'm dying to come to Colombia.
Oh, well, I have an invite, so let's just go. I tried to go to Colombia, 3 years ago when it was COVID. It was during COVID, and I had a ticket. I was booked to go to, I'm going to think of the name of the city in like half a second. Anyway, so I was booked, but then I got COVID and I had to cancel my trip. So it is definitely on my list to get back to Colombia, back being booked the ticket because I haven't actually been. So anyway, this is my adult Disneyland is Google Cloud Next. Now it's a pretty nerdy conference. It is for developers, people who code. If you know me, I love to code. You can go to alicekeeler.com/coded by Alice. I'm going to type that into the...
Yeah, I was going to say you need to plug your site because, I mean, especially if you need a spreadsheet to do anything, there's probably an extension.
Let me create a banner, alicekeeler.com/coded by Alice. We're going to scroll it along the bottom. Let's see. Can I do that? There we go. Okay. Right. So if you go to alicekeeler.com/coded by Alice, I have all of these solutions that I have for teachers. I make them for teachers. They are add-ons for Google Workspace. So they make your Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides better. For example, I have an add-on that will take your Google Slides and convert them to any language and converts to multiple languages all at once. So if you've got students who speak Ukrainian, Greek, and Spanish, it will create a copy for each language and all of your text boxes would be converted as one of my over 30 add-ons that I have.
And if you are an administrator who sends newsletter to a diverse set of parents, please go to that website and get that app because accessibility is easier these days. Accessibility is language accessibility.
These days. Let me just throw in there though that Google Slides has a translate feature that is built in. So if you go up to the tools menu in Google Docs has it built in. Google Docs is built in. Go up to the tools menu, it'll say translate, and it'll make a copy of the document into the language that you selected from the list. But Slides doesn't have that. So I coded that one and a bunch of other things like that. So this was such a fun event. They announced all kinds of new things. Agent is the word of the day. Now, you've probably heard of like agents, right? When you think about AI and AI bots, the AI agents, but it's now being just stepped up and increased. So they announced an AI agent kit. And one of the things they demonstrated during the developer keynote, which is always my favorite part of Google Cloud Next, is their developer keynote. Definitely a lot more fun. They announced they fancy Ironwood new processing chip. It was like huge. And it's a lot more powerful. And I'm wondering what we get to put that into. Think they'll be putting that in Chromebooks? Doubt it.
That would be awesome for all the schools who are
keynote. It was cool, but I was definitely more excited about the developer keynote where they're showing some of the practical applications. So they were actually at the I think this was actually at the main keynote. They announced the developer kit. They were demonstrating how you're like on Home Depot website, right? And you click the little button to chat with an agent, which we've done that before, just kind of like the get help. But it suddenly becomes a lot more like just chatting with a person, even though it is AI. And you're like, well, I'm thinking about planting tulip bulbs in my yard, and I need to know what kinds of things I need to do to prepare and what materials I need. So instead of you just saying, I need 5 bags of soil, it's going to help you, it's going to ask you some questions, helped you with your prompt. But here's the kicker. It had a voice option. So you were talking with them.
Okay, so it talks back or it writes back?
Talks back.
Wow. Okay, do you get to
It
choose
was
its
loud,
voice or it that no, let me, you know what, let me not get off because I don't want us to lose time. Give me a good example of an educational application for
right?
using
Totally
that
was
tool.
thinking that. I mean, just imagine if you had for your classroom an AI agent, just like you would have for any kind of a store for your classroom website that parents could click in. When's the next test? I'm wondering what are the classroom policies. So if I were to upload my syllabus, I would upload all of my assignments and I would train my agent, train my model based on what's going on in my Google Classroom or some of these different things that parents could have a conversation. Because a lot of times with these chatbots, the old style chatbots, you had to know what you were looking for.
Yep.
So what happens if a parent just goes to your website, clicks on your agent and just says, my kid's not doing well, I need help? It's so vague. And it comes up with these resources, but it's not just like, here's a list of resources. It's engaging them in a conversation. Now, one of the things they demonstrated during the keynote was the person was like, if I go to these other websites, they're going to give me a 50% discount. You should give me a 50% discount. And it says, well, I'm not authorized to do that. Hold on while I ask the manager. So then it links back over. It's connected with actual people for the demo where the AI was saying, hey, here's the situation. What can I offer them? So the manager says, you're authorized to do 20%. So the agent gets back to the chat and says, well, you can do 20%. So think about this is the AI is handling some of those parent questions that could be answered based on the training of the things that you upload into the model. But then when it doesn't know, or the parent has a special use case, and there's always a special use case, that it would reach back out to you, let you answer to the AI, and then reach back out to the parent because I can't call them during fifth hour. When I'm teaching, I can't be doing this with a parent. So allowing for them getting those answers, but then also the follow-up. Then we know they'll be followed up because the agent's going to take care of it, and allowing me to just answer quickly. It's hard. I personally find it hard to answer quickly to parents because I really want to be tactful with my words. Now,
And
as we can tell from our episode, that is not my strength.
And let's talk about it. We are not advocating that instead of having parents be able to contact a human person that we send them to a bot. That's not the advocation. It's
sure
just
not.
another option that you do have for that parent who's called 16 times and the teacher literally just cannot yet get there because she's in class.
Yeah.
Then they at least have an option, and maybe that option will give them the chance to vent.
My kids,
so that by the time the human interaction happens, it's a lot
of times I just want to verify what my kid said. I don't actually need the teacher's time, but he has told me something that seems quite unbelievable. And I just want to make sure that that's what the teacher said. It's not what the teacher said.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I'm struggling here.
You had a great time.
I had the best time. So I did a presentation in the developer theater on elevating your Google Workspace usage with AppScript. So that's kind of what I was sharing just a minute ago. I have all these add-ons. You can see it, the ticker at the bottom, how you can get to my add-ons. And I code those using AppScript. Now, I do use Google Gemini to help me code those add-ons so I can do it much faster, get a way cooler looking sidebar. But yes,
let's go back because we talk about ChatGPT a lot, but what's Google Gemini?
Google's version of ChatGPT.
There we go.
And personally, I'm just making a prediction. Gemini's going to win. They just keep putting out more and more advanced models. Their new 2.5 model is supposedly just trouncing all over the stats on OpenAI. And they trade back and forth on who's ahead, so to speak. But where Google Gemini is just winning for me all kinds is that it's integrated into my Google Docs, School Sheet, School Slides. So if you're a Google school, you're going to be using Gemini. If you're a Microsoft school, you're probably going to be using Copilot, which uses OpenAI or ChatGPT. So I think really the future is going to be is where these tools are really tightly integrated into the tools we already use rather than necessarily going out to third party. That's just a prediction. Google already has some really cool ways that they're integrating Gemini into Google Classroom. But then in your Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, if you have a workspace account, it's going to have Gemini in the sidebar. Now, your school account is a workspace account, but the school has to turn on and enable Gemini. It's not on by default, and they need to enable it in the OU, the users, the teacher users, because it's not, well, it's complicated. So let's not get into all of the permissions, but I think in the long run, we're just going to see Gemini really tightly integrated into everything. And so getting those lesson plans, rubrics, you're not going to need to go out to a third party. In fact, I'm really excited about this is if you put equals AI, I think that's it, into Google Sheets, you can actually prompt Gemini right within your spreadsheet. So that already just elevates what you can do with just Google Workspace and AI integration. Like you can just make your own custom, there's like 5,000 websites that use AI to help you do lesson plans and rubrics and whatever, right? Give feedback. You can actually just build that right into Google Sheets without any coding experience. But speaking of coding, I do code. So my presentation was adding the Gemini API into the code. So like right now, well, previously, when I'm looking for things like, for example, I work with Tiller. That's a site that will import your bank transactions into your Google Sheets or your Excel. And so I have a list of my transactions, but I still have to give them a category. So there is an auto categorization rule that you just says, if this description contains this word, that you would categorize it groceries or whatever. Like if it says Costco, categorize it groceries. But that's not using AI. That's just regular regex style things that you could already do with spreadsheets and code. So, but what if you're a little bit more squishy and it's more vague? Like, how would you score this student's response? I can't very easily code just using straight JavaScript. AppScript is in JavaScript to have it assess student responses that are free response. I can't. It's easy if it's multiple choice. It's easy to code to grade multiple choice. A lot more difficult when it is free response. So
now, when I'm listening to you, Alice, it sounds to me like, well, coding and putting in the spreadsheet, this is way over my head. If I'm teacher everyman. So give me a practical application for your average third grade teacher who can use this.
Well, let me finish telling you what my presentation was, and then
you got 2 minutes, so go.
Okay, so I did all Star Wars themed, where I had the Star Wars music and the text crawling, and I really need to make this a template for everybody so they can do the Star Wars music and text crawl in their Google Slides. So I'm planning on putting that out sometime here in the near future, and it was awesome. Practical applications. You can just ask Google Gemini or ChatGPT to write the code for you. You can add it into different things and build this yourself pretty easily without really knowing anything. So there's that. But the equals AI in Google Sheets just is that's approachable to anybody. So if you have students fill out a Google form, right? And so you've got the student responses and you do equals AI on their response, and your prompt is, how would you give them feedback, or, some of these
I have a question.
All right in your spreadsheet.
Are you putting a video together about how to use Google equals?
Yeah, because probably. We'll see.
Oh, come on. You can't give all this great information and then we're stuck out here going, that sounded cool, but wait, what? How do I do that?
Yeah. Okay, so back to the slides.
You're right.
Coffee EDU is at ISTE this year. If you're going to ISTE June 30th, it is 7:30 in the morning. If you don't know Coffee EDU, it is a 1-hour unconference meetup. It's huge. We had so many people last year. We have outgrown Starbucks. We can no longer have it at a coffee shop because it's just too many people. So that's awesome. And so we have it actually at the conference center in room 302 BC. So I hope that you will add this to your conference schedule. And thank you to the good people at Book Creator who are going to help make this happen. And they are buying the coffee.
Woohoo! And it is so worth it. It is so worth it.
You want to explain what your read-in is?
No, actually, I would love to, but we'll have to shelve that for next week.
Hey.
We're talking about our reading. It may have already happened by then, but we are at time. So we want to thank everybody for watching on Facebook.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Welcome to the crew over there on YouTube. And where you have anybody streaming? You streaming somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm streaming all over the place.
Okay.
All right.
If you want to get that video,
if you have topic suggestions that we could try to get to and probably won't.
And if you want Alice to do that equals video, hit her up.
Oh yeah. No, go check my Twitter, my Blue Sky. I'm like putting out it's Financial Literacy Month. So I have a VO video every single day with a financial literacy tip that I'm posting out on social. So make sure you go out and check that out.
Woohoo! All right, follow us, subscribe, and we'll see you next Monday.
See you next Monday.